Hello, everybody. Now, the blob will try to block Boris. Mark my words. They're already at it. Boris Johnson was one of the most democratically elected prime ministers in history. He had a massive mandate, used it rather well as well, to an extent. He fell victim to one of the biggest stitch-ups since the Bayer Tapestry. The establishment media, which frankly doesn't reflect the feelings of the vast majority of the British public, had it in for him and relentlessly pumped out Partygate story after Partygate story. It was relentless. Other news topics all just faded away, didn't they? It was the only story in town. But a lot of these people in the media actually broke the rules themselves. They're hypocrites, if you ask me. They were calling for a harder, faster, tighter lockdown, saying we had the worst death rate in Europe, when we just didn't at all. Putting so much pressure on Boris to shackle us all away indefinitely, crash the economy, ruin children's education, and create a situation like the one we have now, where more people will die as a result of our response to the pandemic than from the pandemic itself. The establishment blob is already back in full swing, though. Emily Maitlis swore when she found out that Boris was apparently trying to come back. The usual types are saying there's going to be this damning privilege committee report, apparently, that could bring down Boris Johnson's government by Christmas. So they are properly already at it. Get over it. Move on. People were sick of Partygate then, and they're sick of it now. The country has moved on. A lot of the media types just don't understand the public psyche. They've never been able to understand, some of these people in the media, why people voted for Brexit. They couldn't understand why Boris is so popular. They couldn't get their heads around the idea that Britain should go for growth. And they'll have an absolute brain hemorrhage if party members re-elect Boris Johnson as Prime Minister. I think they'll just go into full-blown cardiac arrest if he actually wins a general election. Let's just recap what's happened in the last few weeks. So, a man with a huge public majority was pressured into resigning by the media and a lot of MPs who got a bit spooked by opinion polls that, by today's standards, would be considered great for the Conservative Party. Then there was a choice between two candidates that the British public and even Tory members didn't really like. Then there's a globalist establishment coup in the Tory party that means that Jeremy Hunt is now our Chancellor. Truss goes. Now it would appear the grey men in suits want Rishi Sunak to win, unopposed, so nobody, not even Tory party members, will get to elect our new Prime Minister. Where's the democracy? There. Meanwhile, a man who actually won a massive majority and is hugely popular with Tory party members, who, frankly, as well, has now largely been forgiven for his misdemeanours during lockdown. If many people actually cared about them at the time, by the way, which I'm not sure as many people as was reported did. A man who the leader of the opposition absolutely cannot handle. A man with a proven track record of winning elections. What, he's just going to sit there, is he? We'll just leave him there. I say bring back Boris, for the sake of democracy. Tory MPs have to ask themselves a very simple question. Do they want to keep their jobs? Because if the answer to that is yes, then Boris Johnson is their man. Forget ready for Rishi. Forget Penny, trans women are women mordant. Bojo's got the mojo, and he's already decorated the Downing Street flat. Have him back.